Yo, what's going on, everyone? It's Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game, and welcome to another episode of the Power Hour podcast.
Yes, hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 238. Thank you for joining us tonight. Brian, how you doing?
I'm here, but I'm not drinking beer, and
Still queer?
As I said those words, I was like, I'm waiting for him to drop it, and there you go.
It had to be done.
I know. I respect it. I'm not even mad about it, Jim. You went for it. So this time last week, I did something where I ended up re-aggravating the herniated discs in my neck and tore the muscles in my scapula, apparently. So that just equates to I'm in a shit ton of pain, and a couple days ago I finally went to a doctor. I'm on steroids and muscle relaxers, and I am the boring, responsible one that when I take those meds, I don't drink with them.
Lame! Brian, you could be the cheapest date of all time right now. We could have an extra sloppy Brian on this goddamn episode, and you robbed the fan base of it. Selfish.
Jim, I don't need my canceled moment, all right, over some muscle relaxers and beer.
I do. I need your canceled moment.
I have settled for good old LaCroix. So I'll be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for this episode, Jim.
Ah, wonderful. Well, Brian, looks like I'll be doing the drinking and the reading for the both of us, because I am once again breaking into my 12 IPAs of Christmas.
God damn it.
This
Stone,
time,
you son of a bitch.
This time, it's the Ruination IPA.
Oh, the old classic.
Yep, 8.2% alcohol, a liquid poem to the glory of the hop. Well, Brian,
here comes the whole...
Look at all that beautiful text.
Fuck.
Strap in, folks.
Just so you know, this is the part of the video where I make the fast forward sound on the VHS, and then it'll just end.
Right, that would have been funny if you just did it anyway, without announcing it. Cut that out. Do it.
Nope, I'm going to do it.
God damn it.
Accept it.
Throughout our history, we've built a fairly deserved reputation for being obsessed with massively hoppy IPAs, and the groundbreaking creation you have before you is largely responsible for that legacy. Did you know that Stone Ruination IPA was the first year-round brewed and bottled West Coast double IPA on the planet? True story. As the technology and techniques for maximizing hoppy goodness evolved over the years, so too did this beer. Yet we still look back fondly on the impression it left on the palates of many. As a tribute to its roots, we're bringing it back for a limited time in the original old-school form, the quintessential representation of a West Coast double IPA.
Now let me ask you, Jim, with your hatred of that company, does each sip, even if you want to enjoy it, feel a little bit tainted?
You know what? They're not fucking kidding, because it's just hops. That's all this is. It is hops, and more hops. Nothing but. So,
yeah. I
mean, if you're a hop head, as they like to say, then I guess this is the beer for you. No wonder. The true beer snobs are just as obnoxious as fucking Grey Coke, so it's a match made in heaven.
And I believe...
that's it's not a hazy, but that is, you're not seeing through this one. Some good lacing on the glass. It is a well-made beer for what it is. It's just not a style I really like.
And I believe...
Oh my god, it's so fucking bitter.
I can't remember if it was the original Just Stone or it was the Ruination. I want to say it's the Ruination that actually is the first beer, one of the beers featured in our intro video.
Really?
Mm-hmm. So I carried in the case of Lion's Head. I forget if you actually I forget which can of beer you actually pulled out that I hit you with. Was that Keystone?
I think it was a Coors. Might have been a Keystone. I forget which.
We have to double check that. But I know there was a Stone. I had a Stone too to bring because Anthony said bring a beer and I'll do. And that's one of the sweeping shots across your
Yeah,
floor,
you know what? You're right. Yeah, with the old setup.
So yeah, but it was the old style bottles. I know they've I think since changed it. Because let me see that bottle real quick.
This is definitely different.
Okay, it's okay. They didn't. You know what? Here, for all the shit we give Stone, I still love the Gargoyle, and it's still a pretty cool bottle.
It looks good. It's a good looking bottle. I got to give it that. It's a bitch to get pictures of though with this goddamn color in the clear bottle, but
yeah, nice. So, yeah, I feel like you've never been a big fan of their core IPAs. So I'm curious to see if your opinion changes by the end of the episode.
Well, last week I liked the one, and I didn't like the other. So far, I am not in love with this, but I can at least respect them going for it. And then after that, I have one of their delicious IPAs, which is 7.7% and no text of any type. So, yeah, I'll be interested to see how this one is. Pretty.
See, when I see that label, I just think it's going to have a lemony flavor, given the color.
Right, it's such a humble name for a beer. They're delicious IPA.
It's like a stripper's name.
God damn it! You leave my beautiful whores out of this, Brian. You cannot sully them with Stone's Grave.
Oh, Chambers. So
her name is Cinnamon, and she's going to be a doctor.
So we got to make more memories together again. This is becoming a habit in between these episodes, Jim. We're always seeing each other now.
I know, so lucky.
We got to ride the train. Beautiful weather. Got to meet Santa. It was quite an evening, Jim.
Yeah, kids enjoyed seeing Santa. So did the whole dad holiday spiel. So, yay.
So
did our
I
job.
know the weekend usually busy for both of us. But were you able to get in any more games and keep chugging along on your list? Any more bullshit that you finished?
No bullshit that I finished yet. It's actually friend of the show, good old Ryan, Retro Game Brews from Gamers Week podcast. He does the high score challenge that he does like on and off, and he started bringing it back again. So last week's was Streets of Rage 2, so I was like, I should be able to put up a decent showing in that. And yeah, I did a round, put up a score, and I was like, oh, this is all right. And I think I'm still in like 4th place or something right now. So I tried again with a different strategy and actually did worse. So I'm like, okay, I'm good here. Like, for as much as I love that game, I've played it so much through my life where, like, playing it one time a year, it's like, there's that good old nostalgia trip. But then, like, playing it again right after, I'm just like,
So, is it just literally doing the first round, or is it
the whole run? Get as high score as possible as you can.
Did you die at all?
I mean, I lost, like, 2 or 3 lives here or there, but, like, I didn't even get below, like, the 9 life point. Like, I still had lives to spare, like crazy.
What's the rule? Normal, easy, hard?
Normal.
Is he still running that?
I think it might have ended yesterday, or maybe today.
Damn. I would have liked to beat your score.
You probably would, because you always do.
Well, that's why I like doing it, Jim.
Well, pay attention more to Twitter, Brian.
No, I don't want to get pulled into the plebe central.
Right, ruin your brain. Ruin your brain with bullshit.
Let me ask you, did you try to emulate me by using my character Max?
I'm always fucking Max. I was Max before you just did to piss me off, dick. I don't care if it's 8 years later. I'm still better.
I've always been Max. Even though you're older than me and much older than me, I still was always Max before you were Max. So you need to accept that.
In what way?
In every way. You are clearly Blaze at best. Or Skate. That's your go-tos.
Blaze.
I'm Max.
Blaze, he says.
Shut up.
I mean, that art, though. That art, though, for young Jimmy. Ooh, boy. Early favorite right there.
God damn it, Jim.
And, Bryce, speaking of favorites in video games, you should check out this week's Krusty Corner as we talk about the brand new mod, the Baldur's Gate 3. Brian, last week was about feet. This week is about the Hach.
I hate how you keep pronouncing that because it sounds like when you try to clear your throat.
Every time I do it from now on, you don't know what I'm saying. It's the beauty of the dance.
Yeah, so this week was actually particularly slow. I think I got in 2 hours of Call of Duty and a tiny bit of Dead by Daylight, but honestly, I didn't play shit for games this week. As I said, really, really slow. I think I projected out between work and everything. I should be slowing down, even though I'm traveling this week for work. So I have, my 2 goals of finishing Starfield. I looked up a way I can get my spaceship to where I need it, where I should be able to beat the final space battle. And Legend of Zelda. I have my guide ready to be bored to tears, hoping the game changes my mind. We'll see.
Fuck. Do it.
Listen, you need to beat Tetris 99. You have no excuse. All right?
Look, Brian, one's a game with a clear ending, all right? One is left to chance and to bullshit. and the goddamn
Skill.
foreigners who are better than me.
Skill. Pure
They fight with
skill.
honor, and I do not. And I cannot settle. I cannot close the deal, Brian. Much like me at bars in my early 20s, I cannot seal the deal.
Oh, Jim. You know what we need to do at this point? We need to make a King of Kong style documentary about you doing this, and I'm your trainer. And like, you're like, why do you have me running? I'm like, just fucking do it.
Like, you don't need it. Just do it.
You're like going to take a snack. I smack it out of your hands and just put Tetris in your hands. Fucking do it. Ooh, that's actually giving me an idea.
God damn it. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
It wouldn't be the worst. And then when you win at the end, or the inevitable, like, we'll show the screen like you won and it's just me on your Switch.
I like 4 years from now when, what do you call it? Someone like asks as a Patreon question, when's the documentary coming out? And you'd be like, but he has to win a fucking game first.
He's still trying. I don't know how it's possible.
I'm like 2,000 tries in by that point.
Well, Chambers, it's funny you mentioned Patreon because I know it's been light the past couple weeks and we have some makeup questions to get to. But what do we have this week as far as questions?
Yes, patreon.com/DrinkABeerandPlayAGame, where for as little as $2 a month, you can ask a question that we will answer on each and every single one of these Power Hour podcasts. First up from Kev called, if you had to give up eating one type of meat, what would it be? Whether it's fish, chicken, pork, beef, etc. It has to be a type of meat you eat at least 5 times a year.
I would say my easy cop out, and I think I hit that criteria 5 times a year, is turkey. I can go without that.
Are you including like deli sliced or breast or just like in general?
That I'm putting them both together. I think you have to do across all things. So that's why, that's honestly, because I only have turkey roasted on Thanksgiving. But then I think of like the gobblers I get, or every once in a while if I do get a hoagie from Wawa, I will get my smoked turkey here and there. And I think I get just enough to get the 5. I like it. I just don't eat it enough to care about it. And I would never give up chicken or pork or beef for that. So,
I think,
yeah, turkey it is.
I think I'd have to like force myself to like eat something that I hate, like, and just get out of the way. Like, eat it 5 times and be like, all right, I'm good for another like 11 and a half months. Like, it would have to be like duck or something. Like, I've never had duck that I like. It's always just like weird and gamey, like, ugh. So like I'd force it down for like, you know, I'd have some duck confit and some other bull crap, and then be like, all right, I'm done.
Well, okay, would you add fish and like, you know, shellfish, all that shit, crustacean, like
I think like
that...
actual fish is probably like a real answer, because like I don't have like actual fish a ton, and I like fish, I just don't get around to having it a ton. So like that would probably be easy, because like if I go out to eat sometimes, every like 3rd time or something, if I'm at a place, I'll get like salmon or like the flounder, or you know, all that kind of stuff. So I do enjoy fish, I just, you know, don't go for it as typically over other stuff.
What about crabs? The thing our wives love and that we both acknowledge is just so much goddamn effort for so little meat.
It is so much goddamn work, and I like crab, but like
you could live without it.
I could live without it. Yeah. Like, it's good. I enjoy it in cake form. I enjoy it, you know, normal form, but it's just like, eh. And it always seems like a better idea when it's like, oh, a burger like topped with crab, and you're like, ooh, I get the best of both worlds. And then you eat it and you're just like, it's just kind of double mushy now. Like, it never like really brings out the flavor enough that like you're always expecting it to.
Yeah, I do like a good crab cake. Or the which are the giant, is it the Alaskan legs? Those are fine, but even those, like, you get 3 of them, you get a nice strand of meat, and you're done in like 10 seconds. You're like, well, that was $50. Like,
yeah,
the fuck?
Exactly. Unless you're like eating through the whole goddamn thing and like rinsing off the goddamn poop from the insides.
Yeah, damn it, Jim.
Eat the mustard, Bri.
You know what? I would also be able to say, similar to turkey, is ham. I think ham I have on Easter, Thanksgiving,
line,
and then in hoagies.
Yeah.
You know? Like, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, like, straight, like, ham itself, like, I don't go for that, almost. Like, I eat it, but, yeah, like you said, the holidays, and that's about it. Like, when do you make ham? Never. No one makes ham. Like, my wife actually will make spiral ham, like, maybe once or twice a year, even, like, outside of the holidays, but even then, yeah, it's not, like, a repeat go-to. Even though if I'm going to get a hoagie, it's always, like, some kind of Italian, and there's going to be a ham on there.
Yeah. Well, what about, as a twist to this question, what would be the meat you would, like, the last one you would possibly give up?
It'd probably be beef, because beef is so, like, there's so much kind of beef out there. You got, like, steak, and you got ground beef, and you got all this other crap. Like, that'll be a tough one to give up.
I was going to say, I mean, wouldn't most people's answers be between chicken and beef?
It has to be, I think.
Yeah, like, I would miss the ever-loving shit out of my, like, wings are like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
That and, like, kind of my, you know how everyone has a natural go-to, like, if you go to an Italian place, you don't know it, like, chicken parm's always a safe bet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I go to a American-style whatever restaurant and I don't know what I want, I'll always usually start with, like, the buffalo chicken sandwich, because, like, that's kind of, like, that lets me gauge a lot of things. I would miss the shit out of that.
Oh, if I see a Nashville hot on the menu, I normally go for that.
Yeah, so that would be really tough, man. I don't know.
And yeah, I mean, like, what's going to a bar without wings? Like, just take my dick instead.
Yeah. And although, you know what, as much as, like, I love making my Mississippi pot roast and certain things, the real reason why beef would have to stick for me is, like, you can never replicate a perfectly cooked steak. Like,
yeah,
a filet or something, like, you're never getting that from chicken. You're not getting that from pork. You're not.
No, if you try to do that with chicken, you die.
Yeah. Damn it, Jim. No, I do like that question, though, so thank you, bud.
Yep. Next up, from Spaghetti. Fuck, marry, kill, Matt, Jay, or Dylan from NFHC. The good boys and not for human consumption. Poor Walt, left on the cutting room floor. Massive disrespect to Walt.
Matt, Jay, Dylan. Fuck, marry, kill. I'll let Jim go first. I gotta think about my answer.
All right. I guess marry. I'll have to go with Matt. Seems like the all-around guy. Seems chill. Seems one you could hang out with. Plan a life around together, Brian. That's what I see when I look into Matt's eyes. Now, fuck. Now, do I go for the manhandling that Jay would give you, or do you want to be the manhandler and go for Dylan? He's a smaller boy. You know what? I think I'd have to go with the fuck for Dylan. I could throw him around a little bit. I think it'll be fun. Jay, I love you, man, but someone had to take the rough cut on this one.
Well, you stole my marry. I went with Matt as well for your same reasons.
You're fucking Jay.
But I'm purposely gonna inverse it. And since you're already, Dylan will already want to die if he had to deal with you in that capacity. So I'm just helping him along. So, yeah. Good question, you sons of bitches. Can't wait to talk to those guys and let them know.
Might be happening sooner than later. So yes, once again, God damn it. Once again, thank you to everyone out there for the support. Really appreciate the questions. Make sure to get them in there every single week. Check out the posts. Check the links for all the other bonus content for movie reviews, bonus episodes, game review requests, movie review requests, all that good stuff.
Yeah, no, we truly appreciate the support. And please, I know Jim tends to be late with the question asking, but if you have a question, just submit it, get them in there, and we'll backlog them and make sure to get included in whatever next episode.
Yeah, exactly. Not like we're going to say no to anything. And of course, if you want to support the show further, check the links below to Skillshare. So if you want to sign up for an online class, use our code DBPG30, save yourself some money, and maybe learn something.
Cheers, guys. I appreciate it. I wish I had a real beer to actually cheers you.
Oh, yeah. I should probably do that for both of us.
Yay. Jim. So much like the Bud Light saga.
Updates!
Just never ended. We misspoke at the last episode. saying, well, the Completionist thing probably ran its course.
I think the episode was up for 10 minutes before we got the content going. Ran its course. They just had a big update video. So,
yeah.
Let's get this out of the way. We're recording this on fucking December 4th. If something happens between now and Friday, it's not our goddamn fault. We had a shitload of updates. We're going to talk about them. We did what we could. God damn.
So Carl and Mudahar uploaded new update videos on the situation. The long and short of it is not only everything they've already revealed, but that there has been kind of an ongoing charity golf event that's been run, I feel like he said since 2003, and I could be wrong.
Even
with that.
before then, I think. Possibly the late 90s.
Okay. But eventually at some point...
they melded that in with open hands.
Yeah, and they show the breakdown of the price packages, some of them as much as like 10 grand to join this thing. That has clearly been making money, but it's not being reported anywhere. So it's a big question of like, what's going on with that? I will say the first video with the Completionist and all this drama, I'll call it, I was actually intrigued. The thing that actually stopped me from right away rewatching these until, we did these videos is I felt like it was a little too clickbaity where everyone's like, Jirard's going to prison. I'm like, all right, calm down. Like, I know why you're doing that title and stuff.
Playing the game.
But, it did lead to something else we're going to talk about. But before we talk about the next piece of this story, Jim, what was your take on the update video?
So when both their updates happened, so they kind of did it the same way, where, I can't think of his name, but Carl. Yeah, Carl will do like, pardon me, IPAs are kicking in.
I don't think you're capable of stopping yourself from burping when you're talking.
I don't think I am either.
It's actually so ingrained into you, it's impossible.
I really try not to. I swear to God. I'm like an awful inverse Kenny G, where he can play for he can hold a note for 15 minutes straight just by breathing through his nose as he's playing. I guess I just breathe somehow stupid, and then combined with the beer, it just goes blip, 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 blip the entire goddamn time. And that's why I'm a blub. But yes,
go on.
to go back to your point. So yeah, after the first videos, I was like, all right, let's wait to hear his piece and shit like that. And of course, his piece never came until today. But we'll get to that in a second. So then after this next set of videos where they're showing the golf tournament's been going on for this many years, it's been this much money raised, and like you said, you can look through the sponsorship things that they plaster everywhere, and these things are racking in between 30 to 60 thousand on average, sometimes upwards of 100,000 per one of these outings. So unless these outings are taking a massive cost, that would be not worth doing it anyway. You wouldn't be doing it for this many years if it did that. There's no way in hell that you're wondering, well, where's this money going? So it's definitely not been showing up in the legal documents or any of that kind of bull crap. So yeah, it's fuzzy and shady as shit. So yeah, I think I'm kind of in the camp now of just straight up all right, you've all been hiding something and doing something or other. I don't think it's outside the realm of possibility that Jirard's in a tough spot and he's the face of the company and he realized that one of his family members is being a real shithead with the money. That's possible. Or they've all been shitheads all along. That's also very possible. But we said with the first round of videos, if they just turned around within 3 days and donated the $600K, it probably would have been over and done with. You take the PR hit and go, oopsie, I fucked up, I'm bad at this. But you could have kind of survived that. The big update as of today on the 4th, as of a couple hours ago, they made a big donation to the FTD Association. So I think that's the one type of dimension that his mom had. So, yes, for FTD research. So they gave the whole $600K. That's really cool. The Open Hand Foundation gave it to them. They the article will be below. It breaks down how it's split up. So the gift will contribute $200K to the AFTD pilot grant program, $100K to the Accelerating Drug Discovery FTD program, and will be used towards the Comstock grant program, another $250. And then the remaining $50,000 will go towards staff management of these programs. So that's cool, and that would have been great. And if they did that right away, this probably would have been a non-story as of a week and a half ago. but they didn't. And when you don't do anything, people dig more. So Carl and Mutahar dug into it more. Mutahar really broke down all the numbers and stuff from these things. Links will be below to their videos. Give them a watch. But yeah, so okay, all the Imagine Land or whatever the hell that event is, all that money's accounted for now. But what about the rest? What are you doing with that? So answers still need to be had, and yeah, even when they try to do something, they still look bad because they're terrible at doing this.
And here's, I think you had mentioned it before previously that some people have like talked about reasons why you can or shouldn't show certain things on your tax forms and when you're charitable, like how you want to donate or not donate. I guess my only question is, with these golf outings, is it possible that they are still in their own entity, and then kind of like how a movie being produced by a company is different than, the production house is different than the director. So is it possible that there is a different entity that is handling the tax parts of that?
It could be. It could still be the same one they set up 20 years ago, and they just say, this outing's an open hand production or something. Like, again, I don't know the legalese.
That was the word I was looking for. Yeah, listen, I said before, it all seems shady, obviously. Do I know if there's malice in it? I don't know. But if he was fucking around with the money and has spent it on frivolous shit like goddamn Wii U digital exclusives, I think that's truly fucked up.
I still think he deserves maybe not deserves is the right word, but right. Innocent until proven guilty. He should have the chance to give his side. God knows when he's ever going to do it. I mean, they did the donation for most of the money, but, maybe there is some kind of explanation out there. I don't want to, ridiculously kill the guy right now, but it does look really, really bad, and I think
that's what everyone should acknowledge.
Yeah.
Looks terrible, but yeah, don't finalize the conclusion. Like, number one, Mutahar, Carl, great, but they're not professional actually investigators. They're not accountants. They're not all these things. If it really needs to go and he needs to get investigated, it'll get handled and it'll be legit. It is what it is. So I don't know. I thought the story was gone last week. Now that the donation happened and this update video, you got it. Like I said, I think staying silent was the right thing for Jirard. I kind of am turning my opinion, and at this point, like, at least acknowledge we did the donation. And if you have an easy explanation, say, actually, guys, we don't do that because blah.
Yeah, maybe there is an explanation for all of this. It might not be a good one, and the PR damage is still done, but you can at least stop the bleeding at this point. That's all it's going to be at this point, is stopping the bleeding. Because from now on, anyone who thinks he's a scumbag and a fraud, they're not going to have their mind changed by anything he does. So it's game over on that front.
Do you know, has he taken like a massive hit and lost his subscribers and stuff?
I can look that up right now, actually.
Yeah, I'm just curious because, on one hand, there's a part of me that goes, I don't want to say the sentence, don't donate anymore, because obviously if you're someone who wants to donate to those causes, then you should donate to those causes. But it's like, probably don't go through this foundation until you see something more substantial. That it is.
Oh wait, what the hell? God damn it! His stupid freaking channel is not just named The Completionist. Like, there's some like 1,000 sub channel that's called The Completionist. Yeah, hold on a second.
Are you trying to social blade it?
Yep.
Let me see.
All right. Well, what do you call it? While we're doing that, if you want to start it on, that one video gamer. God damn it. And of course, everyone's always bringing up too about like the nasty falling out he had with his old co-host back in the day, and that's why he like started redoing like 100 or 300 videos he had done that he had to start. God damn. Oh, okay, doing that one video game. I'm done. I don't care.
It's okay.
It has it.
I'm just curious if it's affected that substantially at all.
I think I saw that like he maybe lost like 10 or 20 like after some of the videos, but like it wasn't like the massive like drop that like Pro Jirard had when he lost like 100,000 in 3 days.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm not going to say never. I'll never say never again with this shit. So who knows what'll happen by next week. We'll see if there's still something else to follow up. But lots of developments. And like Jim said, thank God we got some news that broke hours before and not the 10 minutes after, like it always seems to happen.
Christ, if that happened to goddamn again, I'd be like, I've never talked about anything topical ever again. I don't care how interesting it is.
Jim, this is where I'm betting you a beer. You know what's going to happen. As soon as we hang up, he's gonna release his response video.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have to squeeze in a freaking quick emergency.
Someone's gonna be like, "Didn't you guys see?"
Yes, we also have lives. We just can't fucking edit a goddamn video again.
All right, Chambers. Let's move on to sad news, even sadder news. Sony made a big announcement, which has made huge waves, I would say, with a lot of people being very upset.
Right, stealing from a charity might be bad, but you steal my goddamn Discovery Network channels? That's war.
Yeah,
But yeah, sorry to cut you off. Please continue.
No. I mean, this is one I've always struggled with because we've talked about before about this whole digital world. And it seems like it's one of the hottest topics being brought up by all forms of media right now. But PlayStation sent out something that basically said, as of December 31st, due to content licensing arrangements with certain providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and the content will be removed from your video library. Here is a full list of affected titles that will no longer be supported. Sincerely, blah, blah, blah. So, here's my first question. I get if I don't know like how they lost the licensing or if they're just not willing to renew it. So that's a piece I actually did try to look up after the fact. I can't seem to get an answer, but in theory, don't you think you should be able to have this digital stuff redeemable by Discovery?
You would think.
What I'm saying is the frustration here, I don't think should all be on PlayStation. I feel like Discovery has the ability to obviously have their stuff streamed. It's just if you happen to do it directly through PlayStation, now you can't get it. So if you at least just go on your computer, can you recover it? Like do something like that. Like that's something where I would say like there should be shared anger there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the assumption is just that Sony didn't want to pay up for it. But yeah, I mean, if it's a type of video on demand that's only available in like a format that'll play on your PlayStation, you can't do it off Discovery. One, that would be really fucked up and stupid, but that's probably the case. And two, yeah, this is our all digital future we're walking into, Bri. Like people are already bitching up about lost media from all these different channels and networks and all these shows that have like 3 episodes and get wiped from the planet and never come back. You think game preservation's bad. Good luck with TV shows and movies.
Yeah, and, we've talked about with the Gaming Off the Grid, they've been covering a lot of this and a few other folks. I purposefully arranged that top box over there right behind me. So I actually went on Facebook. I've mentioned before, the only thing I actively still collect for is my horror movie collection. Found someone on Facebook selling a lot of it was 60 between Blu-rays and DVDs of horror movies. So I went there, bought it, and yeah, I am kind of hunkering down on if you really want something, get the physical things. I have notoriously now, just out of laziness, each year we do Call of Duty, I just get it digitally, but I wait for this price drop and I go get it physically.
When it's like $2, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, whatever, I still want the physical disc in my collection. Now, there's something to be said about that. As Jim and I have mentioned, modern games are basically unlocked keys. So, in a future where that server, all that shit doesn't work, that physical media doubles as just a paperweight. I don't know, man. I'm seeing a lot of things that could potentially really re-spark physical not just media, just even like money. A lot of places around me right now, and like major stores are now saying they're going to be charging you 3% if you use a credit card.
Oh yeah, a ton of places do that.
Any type of credit card, like even if you're using a bank card, like if it's processing it, because they're getting hit right now with fees that they don't want to pay for. So I think you might see a like kind of resurgence to just bring cash or do a check or something like that. I don't know. I also am extremely cautious with my Xbox and my PlayStation to ever buy anything non-game related on it.
Oh yeah, I agree there. Like, I'm what the hell? And I mean, like, even to that physical forever thing, like with all my dumb games and bullshit, eventually chips die and systems break down and capacitors melt and all this other bullcrap. Like, yeah, physical isn't permanent either, but it seems to be way more permanent in theory than, you know, these all digital storefronts that could just rape you of your content and your money on a dive and be like, oops, sorry.
I also, you know, I don't know what belief this is, but some of the comments I saw underneath the Sony thing, it was a surprising number of like, well, ownership is just a ideology. It's not real.
Well, yeah, right. Events like this are a libertarian, like, you know, wet dream. Jesus Christ. But yeah, there was like one tweet I saw that, like, I forget the exact wording. I was trying to look it up, where it's like, well, if digital purchases can be removed, then, you know, ownership can be pirated, right? Like something like that. Something along the lines of, you know, basically piracy's okay because you don't own your shit anyway. It doesn't matter.
I mean, I don't know, Jim. There's an argument there.
I've always said that I'm perfectly fine with piracy. I don't give a fuck about big businesses and shit like that, so screw them. Oh no, WB got their movie leaked. Who gives a shit?
Listen, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you.
Does it suck for the little guy? Might suck for the little guy, but guess what? 9 times out of 10, people aren't going to see your shit anyway unless it becomes like a cult thing that people share around, so.
Yeah. And I'm not going to tell you that even with PlayStation and their ridiculous, sometimes trying to use regular game capture devices on your PlayStation and through all the blocks they have, yeah, you might have to use an HDMI splitter, and now you can do it. And now if you want to download all those Discovery things are going to go away that you bought, you could do that to your computer. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm just saying it's possible.
Dude, even with using splitters now, they're fucking dicks because they have that digital DRM bullcrap that, like, you have to disengage so you can do game capture and stuff like that. So then you got to go back to your menus if you want to watch any of your streaming devices. Pain in the fucking ass. And then, God forbid, on PlayStation 5, you can't plug in a headset and get audio out of your goddamn line out either. HDMI, it's got to be one or the other. What a terrible fucking thing that is.
Yeah, PlayStation.
And then if you play in vertical, it's going to fucking melt your heatsink. Wonderful console.
How do you feel about it, Jeff?
For all 4 real games it has. Great.
Well, you know, PlayStation, I gotta say, man, they're falling off with a lot of things. Like, this is gonna hurt them. I think all the shit you just mentioned is still pretty bullshitty. And, you know, let's not forget the fact that they were the ones that announced earlier that they'll no longer allow you to post gameplay clips directly from PlayStation anymore.
Or from Twitter to, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. They're probably gonna do a nosedive in popularity.
We're just in a Sony cycle where they have a really big hit and then they fuck up and then they have a big hit and then they fuck up. We're in the fuck up stage, Brian. So that PlayStation 6, oh boy, that's gonna be the one to go for.
Yeah. So you know what? I would love to hear what your guys' take is on this. Are any of you diehard still collectors? Because I do think they're becoming more and more of a rare breed. But is this going to maybe lock in the do I go buy physical again? I'd be curious to see what happens from there.
I mean, do it for movies. It's pointless for games at this point, but do it for movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And steal
so
everything. Brian said that. Sue him.
Damn it. I'm going to send Lars right to your doorstep.
But Brian, he's so small.
Damn it. Then when he takes you from behind, it's going to be really confusing.
So I am.
Damn it. All right, Chambers. So another piece of new news right before, well, not really. It's a couple days old. But we never got to cover it last week. And the EVO Japan in 2024, they have their lineup. This is extremely underwhelming to me. So maybe you talk about what they're showing. I mean, once again, we talked about this last year, but last year EVO had Mortal Kombat. It's weird they don't have...
Apparently Mortal Kombat's banned in Japan now. I don't know when that happened, but apparently like the game itself is banned in Japan.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I was wondering that too. Because like all the comments were like, Mortal Kombat snubbed again, and then all the comments would be like, Mortal Kombat's banned.
Okay, well you talk about this because I'm going to look that up.
Okay, yeah. You do that. So, for EVO Japan, so for those who don't know, EVO is that gigantic fighting game tournament. I actually would love to talk to Nick again from Video Ditch, because he's a huge fighting game guy. But the games: Grand Blue, Fantasy vs. Rising, Guilty Gear's Strive, which has been around for a little while, King of Fighters 15, I'm not sure if that's the most recent one. I think it is. They come out every few years at this point. Street Fighter 3, Third Strike, the nostalgia act for this round. They always throw one in there. I think the last time we talked about EVO, they brought back like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. So yeah, Third Strike, that's like what put EVO on the map in the general consensus, really. But not to be outdone, Street Fighter 6. Also Tekken 8, which I don't think's even out yet. So I guess by the time Tekken 8 comes out, it might be right after the game releases. I might be wrong about that. We'll have to double check. And then Under Night in Birth, whatever the hell that is. So yeah, there always seems to be like a bunch of these weird weeby games that are thrown in there for the fighting game side. Normally like Guilty Gear takes up like most of that, but yeah, Grand Blue and Under Night, whatever those are. Maybe they're cool. I'll have to look into them. But as far as the lineup goes, it's not really sexy to the casual person out there, but I mean, maybe Mortal Kombat can't be there. Weird to not see like Dragon Ball FighterZ on there anymore. I think this is the first time in a while that isn't included on here. And some other ones I can't really think of right now. But yeah, you let us know below in the comments if you're a big ass fighting game fan how this looks, because we are not the experts to tell you, but Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 being there makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think the only thing I can add to that is, yeah, I was really confused as to why the Third Strike is there.
That because
all the other games are new.
Nostalgia.
But I get it. I get it, but I'm still kind of like, it's a time to move on. Also, and this is probably just my complete ignorance, can they not do like Smash Brothers because of the Smash event? Maybe like rights with that shit, or they don't want to try to get Nintendo shit involved?
I don't know. That's a good question. Or maybe they're that type that's like, oh, it's not a real fight.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Does that not qualify? Is that an arena fighter? Like, you know, all that corny shit. But while you were talking, Mortal Kombat surely is banned. It's due to extreme violence. So it's not only banned in Japan, it's banned in China for extreme violence, as well as South Korea. And then it's also banned in Ukraine because there's laws prohibiting communist symbols regarding the Cold War Scarlet DLC from MK11.
Really?
So, apparently. But, no, the thing that's blowing my mind is China, I get. Japan? The shit you guys put out, you have problem with extreme violence? Are you fucking insane? Are you, like...
But Brian, when they do it, it's cute. Oh, actually, quick thing. Smash has been there. Apparently, like, the largest Smash tournament ever was held at EVO 2019, so it's been there before. So yeah, kind of weird to not see it there again, but whatever.
So, yeah, have you ever watched any EVOs?
No.
Would you ever?
No. I have absolutely no interest in watching EVO. I've watched a clip of Third Strike from like 2004 when the guy made that crazy block and comeback. Like, that's really cool. I'm not going to sit through a fucking EVO. I don't care.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. It never, ever. I can't even watch a highlight. The only thing I've watched close to EVO or any fighting game tournaments are the, like, when someone spurgs out, or like when there's like, it's always fights and it pisses me off because it's just people arguing. I'm like, that's not a goddamn fight.
Yeah, true.
God damn it.
Like, even when that, what do you call it, that esports stadium was supposed to go in Philly, like, we were like, yeah, we'll go there. But I knew in the back of my head, like, I'm going for the page, but I'm probably going to be bored out of my ass the whole time.
Oh, yeah. After one event, I probably would have been like, well, that was a terrible idea.
I've been sitting there with my $16 beer going, okay.
This is a thing.
Yeah, I love League of Legends. Go team. Go Fusion.
All right. But, Jim, I think the rock star of today's episode...
I'll give you that one. I hate you. I'll give you that one.
And by far the biggest news that will trump everything else we've talked about is the GTA 6 trailer, which had to be released by Rockstar because it was leaked. And as you said, as you are a big advocate for piracy and leaking stuff.
Worked out for me. Day of the podcast, baby. Piracy wins again.
Well, okay, so before we get into the trailer, let me ask you this, though. When were they supposed to release it? I thought it was this week anyway.
I think it's going to be tomorrow.
Okay.
Either tomorrow or maybe at the Game Awards on, what's that? That's Thursday?
That would make more sense if it was Thursday.
It was one or the other. I forget what, so yeah.
Okay.
Either way, a day early, 3 days early. We got it early, baby.
Yeah, before we talk about the leak and the feelings on that, first let's address the actual trailer. So I will be playing it as we're talking, so you'll see it on loop. Obviously, a lot of the previous leaks or spoilers of, like, it's a female protagonist. There's a little bit of it definitely at the end has a feel of like Bonnie and Clyde, like her and her boyfriend are like on a crime spree or something. But it is in Vice City. It's definitely not the 80s.
No.
Which that, of course, I'm like, But, man, did they really need to nail it home with it's Florida? How many gators did I need to see in that video to recognize? Yeah, I get it. You're in Florida, and
right. There's a guy naked, like watering his lawn with his hose, like Florida man. Bro.
Yeah,
Florida man's in a game.
That and it's like a chick twerking at a strip club, and then she's twerking on top of a car. I'm like,
God damn it! I know so many of like the in-game, like it was all cutscenes. There was no in-game footage, obviously, and like so many of it was like, you know, portrait mode. So it was like news reporting on like TikToks and crap like that. I was like, man. Like, I don't want to see that much like current day shit in GTA. Like, I like GTA kind of feeling like I like it feeling like its own world.
Well, I mean, with GTA 5, they definitely like the use of your phone and stuff. Like, it was. I mean, just think culturally when GTA 5 came out. Yes, everyone had a phone and iPhones even. But, yeah, the
iPhone
TikTok
4s.
and all that. Yeah, like the TikTok and all that shit, like how it's blown up. It's going to be it's going to be a thing. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if, like, yeah, you're, like, trying to up your social score, like, your TikTok views and go viral with shit. Like, something in the game's going to have that. But what else can you really say? Like, it
looks like a GTA.
Said, there's nothing that resembles what could actually be the story other than the chick and her boyfriend robbing what looks like maybe a liquor store or a convenience store. And then you did see one crazy guy, which I assume is going to be a bad guy with like tattoos around his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, outside of that, there's street races, shit like that. So, yeah, cool. I will say,
looks like a GTA game.
Trailer. It does look like some of the areas are like way more populated with like random vehicles.
Oh yeah.
Like it looks more dense with shit going on, which, like I said, unless you actually allow them to go in like to every building that's available, I don't know how you really top GTA 5 because the graphics, I'll be honest, they look good, but they don't look like levels above 5 to where I'd be like, this looks so much more amazing.
Well, I mean, it is funny to talk about like the traffic because like a big thing when like they were porting GTA 5 to the Xbox One and PS4 because dude, that came out on the fucking 360 at first. Like that's how old and long that game's been running. But yeah, like they were talking about like how much more traffic and like life that they can put into the city and the NPCs and all that stuff. So yeah, you kind of expect that now. And I'm with you. It looks good, but I'm not like blown away by what I saw. I'll be more blown away if it looks really good in game and just not in cutscenes. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's way too early to jump to any conclusions, but it looks like a GTA game. At worst, it'll sell all the copies, and at best, it'll take over gaming again for 10 years.
I was going to say, like, I feel like that's probably got to be the new cycle of this, right? Like, unless, and I don't know how they could royally fuck it up because
it's woke! Damn it, girl! Fucking woke!
God.
Fucking, she has a cram and can't commit crimes.
I hate you, Jim.
She's gonna have to stop her mission to change her tampon.
Fuck.
Can I set her to be a free bleeder? Where's my immersion?
I hate you, Jim. I hate you so goddamn much.
Me too.
But yeah, I was a very late adapter and player of GTA 5. Like, it probably was 4 years after it came out before I even played that game. So
got you beat.
It'll probably be this long for this one too.
Unless it's some kind of massive flop out of nowhere. I can't really see it being that, but I mean, there's a chance. Or they just keep GTA on. Maybe the game like kind of has a rough start for whatever reason, and then they just shut down GTA Online on 5 and just make you force it to do on 6, and then boom, there you go, all the copies sold again.
That's my question. Is like, do you think there's any chance they're gonna try any integration with 5 and progress to like a mode like that in 6, or do you think they just cut the cord and they'll keep the servers up, but yeah, like it'll be its own thing.
In a perfect world, they keep it going. In a capitalistic society that we have, Brian, bye.
Yeah.
Snip, motherfucker.
So Jim, speaking of the society we have today, obviously saw a lot of people kind of just like, haha, it was leaked, like you had to do it.
Oh, Brian, one quick thing.
People...
Going to our lovely Krusty Corner. Justin Wang tweeted, like, I love how horny this, what do you call it? This trailer made my timeline.
Damn it, Jim. But yeah, there's a lot of people that just laughed at it. It's like, whatever. Like, it got leaked. And then a lot of people like, man, I feel so bad for PR team and this and that. Here's my thing. If you are this loved enough that somebody is able to leak it, and it's probably not that hard because you probably have... It's probably not an understatement to say 1,000 or more people working on this game from all aspects.
Oh, yeah.
So it's probably not that crazy that it would get leaked, but it's also like, isn't that a sign of success? Like, no one went out of their way to leak like that shit ass game that you like, that Balance, whatever.
I did not like Balan Wonderland. That game fucking blew.
Yeah, but you were all like giddy, like a little schoolgirl, like, I can't wait to play.
I was not giddy.
You just sucked it off. But
when did I suck it off? I played the demo and said it sucked.
Yeah, but you still defended it like a bitch. And
disavow lies and slander, fake news.
But nobody needed to see that leak. Nobody wanted to leak it because it wasn't worth it. So it's like these leaks happen because enough people care. So it's kind of like the idea: did you really make it if you don't have haters? You know?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's had how many like pre-alpha builds like already being leaked online and shit like that. Like this game is just being leaked left and right. I don't know if there's enough fucking proxies and firewalls in the world to keep these fucking nerds out.
Well, and here's my question: we talked about this with Game Awards. We talked about this with E3s. Is there really a need anymore for the big hype to the big announcement? Like, they had this trailer probably it'd be different if they were actively working on it and you pre-release it. Like, that's fucked. If it wasn't edited and music and all that shit. But once you have the final thing, isn't that a way of the old guard? You know, just like the summer blockbuster and everything else that once COVID hit, you kind of had to be like, well, that's not really a thing anymore. Like, I don't know.
Is it that needed? Probably not, but you know what? People want to get excited for shit. And for more people than ever at this time, and they're, you know, at this point in the history of humanity, like, games are a big deal. It's probably the biggest entertainment industry out there at this point. And for a lot of people, it's their entire personality. So, like, they're the ones who will be crying during, you know, game reveal trailers and shit like that. That's not me, whatever. But there's people out there like that. So, you know, there's still something to be said for the big hype machine. And it sells. It gets people to buy shit. Got me to buy Elden Ring, and I'll never finish it.
And I loved your dedication to it at first. Yeah, I'm definitely going to commit to it.
Whatever. I still put more time into it than I put into a lot of games I spent more money on, so.
Oh, Chambers. So, yeah, in the comments below, let us know. Are you super excited for this? Have you been waiting to see the trailer? Do you care that it was leaked? Like, what are your opinions on those pieces? Because I know a lot of people have various opinions. I'm at that point where it's like, if it was a day or two away, does it suck? You kind of stole the thunder. Yeah, but it's already up to like 24 million views. People love it either way. It's not going to hurt your end product.
Yeah, I wonder how much money fucking Rockstar just made off that trailer alone.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Shit. I mean, yeah, I have YouTube Premium, so I don't even know if anything has trailer or if ads on whatever anymore. So.
Oh, it all has ads. I didn't know you had YouTube Premium.
As you can expect. Yeah, no, I got it. That's how I got my fucking Stadia. My Stadia set that I've never opened and never will at this point because there's no point.
So Chambers, just give me your code because I want YouTube Premium now.
No, eat my dick.
Jim, you support piracy. Help me be a pirate.
No, Brian, goddammit. No free rides for you. Because I fucking hate you.
Damn it. But I'll help you beat Tetris.
No, I need to have that win for me. I can't have it stolen or done by someone else. There's so many little things I need to do for myself. That's one of them.
So, Chambers, that was going to be our last topic, but I see you snuck a little thing in here.
Thanks to our buddy Super Nintendo dropping some news that was getting like no play. So thank you, bud.
Yeah, so Steam users are free to resell their digital games, which I forget how long ago we talked about this idea and could you do it and whatnot, but I didn't get to read through all of it because, like you said, it was just added. But I mean, really, is this going to be allowable everywhere?
No. So this is actually a ruling in a court case in the United Kingdom, or the European Union, the EU as they call it, Brian. And yeah, one of the big courts up there, a court decreed that an author of software cannot oppose the resale of his quote-unquote used licenses, allowing the use of programs downloaded from the internet. The license is technically exhausted on its first sale. So, and they're saying that this ruling supersedes end user license agreements for things like Steam and GOG, Epic Games, Origin. That'll basically be like, yeah, they can say that you can't, it goes against their TOS, but legally you can resell a used game or a digital game at this point. So that's like fucking crazy. So this ruling only affects anything in the European Union as of right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, that's still a huge step in the right direction in my mind. Like, yeah, I bought it. It's my game. It's my license. It should be my fucking thing to resell if I want to do that and not just be stuck with it.
Yeah, but...
Because before, like, you could only return a game on Steam, I think if you only played it for less than 2 hours. I think there was, like, a really short time limit for that.
So, I know with Steam, you can play it only through the application. But I don't... With GOG, I'm pretty sure when I downloaded... Like I think I downloaded the old, Fallout games. I think, they download it directly to my computer.
They do. That's what you did with good old games. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's where I would say it'd get a little hairy, because if you just have the copy on your computer and you're not... that's where I would say you shouldn't be allowed to do that. But I do agree on Steam. If it removes itself from your library and you're no longer using it, even if Steam wants to take a little hit of the action, like call it 10%. I don't know what's a fair percentage.
5% transfer fee or some dumb bullshit like that.
Something like that, but then at least allow the secondhand market to make it, like if I want to sell to you, like if you wanted to buy one of my games and you'd either have to pay $40 brand new or I sell it to you and I'm like, Jim, it's $20 and they get 10% on that. I think that's fair.
Yeah, but according to this ruling, you don't got to give them shit.
That is really...
And I'd feel worse for these stores if they weren't such dicks about returns and crap like that, or the fact that you're still paying the same price basically for a digital game that you are for a physical. So it's like, I mean, I understand for physical, like you're printing the copy, so you got to put more money out there for it. It's insane to me that the digital side still charges the same fucking amount. So, yeah, for a lot of these digital publishers, I don't feel any sympathy for this. Like, good, fuck yous.
So what do you think is going to be the outcome of all this shit? We've been talking about physical media, this shit. I mean, will there be a point when they recognize you should not be charging full physical pricing for this shit? But if everyone starts returning to physical to a degree because they are scared of this digital future, will that maybe drive it where now digital like should start lowering their cost?
As much as I would love to say that yes, I'm going to think that cat's out of the bag because they know at this point that they can still charge it and people will buy it. And the reason for that, Brian, is convenience. And people will pay for convenience no matter what. Brian, why the fuck do people pay like double just to get their food door dashed? Convenience. No McDonald's order should be $60, but goddamn it, people do it out the ass.
I still have not done that just on that principle alone. I will not. I've never done a DoorDash because I see what those fees are, and I'm like, no. Like, as much as I don't want to get my ass up and go, I will not DoorDash some shit that I know is already bad for me. Like, I have to punish myself. If I'm going to go eat like shit, I'm going to make my ass get up and go eat like shit. I can't have it brought to me.
Right. Only
that'll open up such a Pandora's box of terribleness. No. Nope.
Right. It comes in handy when you're suffering from the most vicious of hangovers and you need that greasy garbage to save your life. But you're paying for it. You're paying for it both with your body and with your wallet at that point. But again, it's game over. Like the second something makes your life easier, you go, okay, I'll just do this.
And you know what? Here's where I'm guilty of it. Where my vice is, where I have obviously big movie collection. I know I'll have a movie down here, but it's in my basement, in my office, where I do all this shit. And me and the wife want to watch a movie.
$2 rental?
It's only $3.99.
$2 rental?
I'm like, I'm like, fuck it. I don't feel like, because then I don't, then setting up the DVD, like, no. Like, I'll just do it. So I've been trying to be more mindful. I bring up a stack just in case we want to watch them, and I'll leave them upstairs now. But then, of course, you gotta clean up the stack. So, yeah. Convenience is it's a sin, Jim. It's a sin.
Yep. And then your kids grab your stack and they think it's a fucking game or a book, or they play pretend with it and then they ruin your goddamn thing. And then you sit there going,
spoken like a man who's been there.
No, actually, my kid's pretty good about not touching daddy stuff. She kind of knows better.
So far. Until she wants to piss you off.
Oh yeah. Oh god. She's a good.
Those days are coming.
She's a good kid for now, but I know it's gonna come. It's gonna come in like a really harsh wave once it finally hits. When she wakes up one day and goes, "No, fuck that." Then it's all
he can't actually do anything to me.
He's a big fat pussy. She'll be right.
So yeah, good job, Europe, on leading the charge. I would love to see that implemented here. I'd be shocked if it ever does, but yeah, reselling digital games should be a thing.
Yeah.
Why not? If we're going to go all digital, if we can already transfer money amongst ourselves, why not video games?
Yeah, give some win for the little guy. Give us something here.
Yeah. So, Chambers, how did those stone beers treat you, and which one did you like better?
fucking the Ruination was just, it lived up to its goddamn name. It was just nothing but hops, and I think it kind of ruined my palate for the rest of the night. I should not have started with that one. The Delicious, it's definitely fine. It's definitely a lighter IPA, even though it's 7.7%. It definitely had a little bit more of that, citrus kind of mixed in there. A little bit more smooth and flavorful. But still, just my aftertaste right now is just so goddamn ruined from that Ruination that all I just have is just hops in the back end. You know what?
Would you say?
And you know what I learned
they
watching?
Didn't give you false advertising?
Oh, there was no false. Oh, what? False advertising for the Delicious?
No, for the Ruination.
No, there was no fucking false advertising there. That'll ruin your goddamn mouth for a day. So yeah, I actually learned yesterday when I was watching the that Disaster of an Eagles game that I can't just sit there and have IPAs. I picked up a mix pack of Free Will Brewing IPAs, and I'm going through them and I'm like, yeah, it's good, but then by the fifth one I was like, I don't really want to drink anymore. It just gets to be too much.
It takes it out of you. If you go to the bar to try it, or just one or two at dinner or something, it's fine. But as a sipper, especially through it, that's why, Eagles games, you can't. The way you're going to be forced to drink when they stress you the fuck out, yeah.
You need that macro swill to cleanse the palate every couple of beers.
I will say, going through my Raz Cranberry LaCroix, man, they really go to your head real quick. What are you going to say? It's LaCroix.
Right, what do you
Can't wait to drink
period?
again.
Like the main girl in GTA 6?
God damn it, Jim! Don't be insulting our 4% female audience.
4? We've never seen 4% in a fucking break statistic in any of our videos. Get the fuck out of here.
Yes, we have.
I've seen
Don't you
2.
dare. Well, I saw the other 2. What do you say about that?
Damn it.
Now, but with that, guys, we want to say thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already hit subscribe and a notification bell, please do that. We would really appreciate it. Hit the like button and make sure to comment on the video. Let us know where we fucked up. Let us know if you enjoyed it. And if you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, hit the subscribe button. And if you give us a 5-star rating, we will read each and every one of those comments on this Power Hour podcast. With that, we want to say have a good night, everyone, and cheers.
Cheers, everybody.